So today we're going to look at the equation 8 is equal to y minus 9. Just like in the previous examples that we have worked with, the goal is to leave y by itself. We say, let's isolate the variable, right? We have the left side and the right side of the equation that's being separated by the equal sign. So we're trying to figure out what is the value of y so that when we subtract 9, we get an answer of 8. Sometimes we'll see the variable on the right side, sometimes we'll see it on the left side, sometimes we'll see an x, sometimes a y, or any other letter to represent an unknown. So I'm going to solve this equation in 3 different ways, and we're going to try to make a connection between all of them. So to start off, in order for me to isolate the variable, leave the y by itself, I must move any other number that's on the same side of that equation. In this case, I have a minus 9. So I'm going to have to use an inverse operation. So instead of subtracting, the inverse of subtraction is addition. So I'm going to be adding 9. So add 9 to both sides of the equation, right? Properties of equality say whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. And we know that negative 9 plus 9 would be 0, or we can think about it as 9 minus 9 would be 0. Right? So there's a 0 there. That means now all I have left is y on the right-hand side of my equation. On the left-hand side, I have 8 plus 9. Well, 8 plus 9 is 17. And we can always check our work by plugging the 17 back into the equation, right? If I have 17 and I take away 9, do I get 8? Yeah, we do get an 8. 17 minus 9 would be 8. So, yep, there is my answer. Now, I would like to model it using our scale. Remember that when we have an equation, in order for our statement to be true, our scale must be balanced, right? So according to this, I have 8 positives on the left-hand side. So there's 5. I need 3 more. Here we go. There's 8 on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, I'm supposed to have a y. And then I'm supposed to have minus 9 or negative 9 or 9 negatives. And I need to tell my scale to balance, right? Because that's what we were given in this equation. Now, in the previous examples, we were able to say, hey, let me grab these negative things that are here, move them out of the way, and grab some negatives from here and move them out of the way. But in this case, I cannot do that. I cannot just say, hey, let me take these negative 9 out of there because I don't have negative 9 to take away from here. So what we're going to do is think about how can I make this section become a 0? And if we think about how we worked it out algebraically, right, we added 9 positives. And if we remember, if I put a negative 1 and a positive 1 together, that creates a 0. So that's what we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on making this become a 0. But we also need to remember that whatever I add to one side, I must add to the other. So I'm going to start by adding these 5 over here, because that would mean it would make all of those become 0. But if I add 5 to this side, notice that this is no longer balanced. I'm going to have to add 5 to the left side in order for my equation to continue to be balanced, right? So I'm getting there, not quite where I want to be, because I still need these to be 0. So I need 4 more 1s. Okay, there we go, but I'm not balanced anymore, so I need to make sure that I grab 4 more and bring them over to the left side. Now my equation is balanced. So here I'm able to see that I'm left with y, right, is equal to 5 plus 5 is 10, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17, just like it said right there. Next, let's look at this using our counters and my box. So I like to refer to my variable as a box. I have a box with a certain amount of counters. I do not know how many counters are in there right now. All I know is that when I combine them with these -9, I am going to get a total of +8. That means inside this box, there must be 8 extra positives than what I would get if I combine these to make a 0. Okay, so how can we do that? In the same way that we did using the scale, right, our balance. I know that if I put a negative and a positive together, that creates a 0, right? -1 plus 1 would be 0, but I need to remember that whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other. And I'm going to put these over here for right now. So if I put that there, I put one on that side. I put one with this negative. I put one on the other side. Put one with the negative. Put one on the other side. Put one with this negative. One on the other side. Match up the negative. One on that side. Match up the negative. One on that side. Match up that negative. One on that side, and match this one up, and one on that side. So that must mean that inside this box there must have been a total of 17 pieces, right? Here's 9 pieces. If I move one here, that's 10, 17, right? So there must have been a total of 17 pieces inside this box to begin with in order for me to, at the end, have 8 total. We can think about it like this. Let's see. Let me move those out of the way for right now. If I have this, not really gonna touch those. If I have those 8 and these 9 inside the box, when I combine them all with the negatives that are out here, I would end up with a total of +8.